listeners, and welcome to Voices from the Diaspora. I'm your host, Leslie Koroma, and welcome again to another program. This week's topic is how can technology and entrepreneurship help Sierra Leone capitalize on the ongoing African economic boom. Now, it is no secret that there's a lot going on in Africa these days. Africa is a focus point for all investment and all the global economic activity. African countries and African economies have been at the forefront. They've been benefiting a lot. And we know that Sierra Leone is also poised to be a part of that conversation. There are quite a number of things going on in Sierra Leone. But the most important thing is we want to know how the citizens of Sierra Leone are actually benefiting, not just from the economic boom in itself, from major investment, but as citizens who are taking part in that economic activity in the form of entrepreneurship. Also, technology rules our lives these days, and so we want to know what Sierra Leoneans are doing, both at home and abroad, about the use of technology and how that is enhancing their lives, and how that is also playing a role in entrepreneurship and in business at home and abroad. I have three esteemed panelists with me here today who are going to be part of this conversation. And there's a lady from North Carolina, Miss Marinette Cole, and there's Mr. Medman from Maryland, USA, and then there's Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Kamara, who's based in the United Kingdom. I would like to go around and introduce these esteemed panelists. And please, I would ask my panelists now that after introducing them, please just say hello to our listeners out there. The first person will be Miss Marinette Cole from North Carolina, who is a mental health professional, and she's a resident of Charlotte, North Carolina. Miss Marinette Cole.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marinette Cole. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I hope everybody is doing fine. I've lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for 17 years now. I'm married and have 2 children, and I've been in the mental health field for over 20 years.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Cole. Our next guest is Mr. Mohamed Mansouri, commonly known as Medmans. Mr. Medmans is MBA. He's got a master's in business administration, and he's also a businessman as such. But I'll let Mr. Medmans speak for himself. Mr. Medmans.
Yes. Let me first say hi to everybody listening, and thank you. And I'm honored to be part of this panel discussion. My name again is Mohamed Mansouri, popularly known as Medmans Online, and I'm happy to talk about technology with you. Yes, I currently live in Maryland, and I definitely would like to engage the other panelists as far as how we can help to point out what it is that entrepreneurship can do, to make our lives better in Africa, in Sierra Leone particularly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Medman. Finally, our third guest is Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Kamara of Nottingham, England. Very active on the social networks. Mr. Kamara is a very astute, intelligent man. And Mr. Kamara from Nottingham, England, please.
Yes, my name is Mustafa Kamara. I'm a supporter of the Sierra Leone People's Party, opposition party. I read law, Trent University, and I'm more than happy to participate in this conversation because I believe engaging and discussing intricate matters that are affecting our society or can contribute positively to our society is an imperative. So I'm really, really happy to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very critical topic in front of us today, which is how can technology and entrepreneurship help Sierra Leone capitalize on the ongoing African economic boom. Now, like I indicated before, I asked you guys to introduce yourselves. The main or the most critical thing at this particular stage is Africa has, at long last, arrived at a situation or at a crossroads where we can take control of our destinies going forward if we can capitalize on what is going on currently in Africa. in Sierra Leone in particular, which is where we're all from. But it all rests on what we are willing to step up and do in this case. We cannot sit there and say and look at other people or ask other people to come help us, not just help us, but take control of our destinies for us. We have to do it ourselves. If we want a country that's got 24-hour light around the clock, or we have industries that are booming in Sierra Leone, I believe Sierra Leoneans have to step up and take control of things like that. We can no longer continue to look in the direction of Europe or North America or some other foreign country for foreign nationals to come in and run our industries or run our businesses in our country. We are capable people. We're a very intelligent set of people, and I believe we have the wherewithal for us to be able to handle this aspect. But the one thing that's been lacking in our nation, this is part of my observation. One thing I believe that's been lacking is an embrace of entrepreneurship at a very high level. What I mean by that is it is very rare for me to actually place or point my fingers at any major company that's being run in Sierra Leone that's owned by a Sierra Leonean. What I mean by that is we'll talk about multinational corporations or major industries that are multi-million-dollar in scope, and that's just my own perception. Maybe I'm wrong, but I will leave the floor open for you guys to make the corrections that needs to be made in this case, in terms of my perception, in terms of the way I view things. But that's how I see it. And we have not embraced entrepreneurship. We have not embraced using the tools of technology to make our nation better. But I think it's high time. I think it's about time we not only start talking about it, but actually start embracing those particular areas that will actually give us control of the destiny of our nation, which is what we all seek, which is what we all want. So now the question is, I want to ask you all to actually take a look at the topic. The topic again is how can technology and entrepreneurship help Sierra Leone capitalize on the ongoing African economic boom. Take your time and just give us an overview of what you think about this particular topic and what your perception is about this. I will start with the lady first, Miss Marinette Cole. What would be your perception? What would be your take on this particular topic today?
Mr. Koroma, first of all, I would like to thank you to give me the opportunity to be in this debate or forum. For me, as a Sierra Leonean, for us Sierra Leone to progress in the entrepreneurship, the key is to a good and the key is to a good shot to start and in the availability of the energy in the country. I mean, without energy, there's nothing one can be able to do, Just like I said, without energy, we cannot complete or sustain decent entrepreneurship. Like petty traders, I'm sure cannot sustain themselves with their wares, that they carry along all day from crossing, from my own personal observation. When I've been in Freetown recently, they cannot provide a day worth of a decent meal. This effort, I believe, should be hinged around the agricultural sector. The first thing we need to do is feed ourselves to be able to feed ourselves very much, and also our energy focus should be on the renewable energy system in the country. And also, there are very good examples in Africa without naming any. And also the legal and law enforcement are to the sectors that need to be, try to enhance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Cole. That was indeed. You highlighted a couple of items here, which is one is the tools that are needed to support entrepreneurship, which is sustainable power in the country.
Exactly.
We'll talk about around the clock type of energy production, and also the rules and regulations that guide what you will call profitable or the right environment for entrepreneurship to flourish. So thank you for that. I'll come back to you later on, but I will ask Mr. Mohammed Mustafa Kamara from Nottingham, England. What is your take on the topic? And the topic again, I'll repeat to you, is how can technology and entrepreneurship help Sierra Leone capitalize on the ongoing African economic boom?
Right. I first of all like to pick up on the point that Ms. Marionette Cole made. I think she made some a very important point. One is electricity. I think if we want to be competitive in this new global market, we need to have a sustainable, renewable energy. I think that's one area where if we want to create wealth as a nation, we need to be very effective, in our productivity for energy power, energy supply. But going back to the topic on how we can empower individuals to support our economy, first and first, I think all of us have seen, or I'll speak for myself, I think I have seen the same contrast and inequity across Africa, poverty and hunger, in the shadow of gleaming new mines and plantations, luxury hotels, towers rising near crowded slums, villagers gaining jobs from multinational projects while others lose their land. Local entrepreneurs capitalizing on the growth, on economic growth, even as most of the profit goes to foreign shareholders. That's a typical example in Sierra Leone, where the government does not even get 50-50. But there are lessons that we can learn from. Today's investment boom is Africa's biggest opportunity in decades. But will we seize the moment or squander it? That's the important question. Some African countries are getting it right, and there are lessons, as I said, to be drawn from the success or from their successes. I think one lesson that we can learn is how to use our resources and create new industries.
Right.
How we can utilize our industries and create, utilize our resources and create new industries. One example I want to give is the project going on in Botswana, I think. On the outskirts of Botswana. Where they've utilized, they utilize their resources to create security in their mining industry,
right.
and these securities that they create do create jobs, because by making their diamond processing secure, they can actually attract investors, from other diamond mining industry around the world, to have their diamond processed in their country, which would create more jobs. I think that's one example how we can use our resources, to create new industry and sustain new jobs. And within those private sectors or partnership with governments and private sectors, there are opportunities there as well. To empower individuals, to become powerful entrepreneurial, in our society, because I believe the role of government should be limited and people should be empowered. And one way that